Go. All right, now I did not write this one. I would not have written something quite so childish, but it's cute, and so I'll put it out there. When we get into arguments with people, the problem won't be sorted until both parties feel that they have been treated fairly. Whatever, okay? In order to make things fair, all parties have to understand, avoid making things worse, work together, and find a solution. That makes sense. I don't know, I must have got this from a children's website or something. First, we have to try to understand by putting ourselves in the other person's shoes. Now, that's sensible. Each person must be allowed to say how they feel without being interrupted. And in order for it to work, each person must listen to carefully. Oh, I like this. That's pretty good. Okay. Everyone must make sure that they don't make the situation worse, so no put-downs, no revealing secrets. Must have come from a children's website, but it's pretty good. All right, works for you too. No fighting, kicking, or pushing. Just in case you were planning on doing that. Each person must be determined to work together with the others. This means taking turns, speaking quietly, active listening, talk about how you feel without blame, and find a solution. Okay. Come on. All parties must take responsibility for their part and stick to what? Okay. Come on. And prepare to talk again. Okay. So here's a quick story. The short tale of a lemon. Remember, by the way, conflict is the perceived incompatibility in goals. Perceived incompatibility. Here we go. Once, there were two women who both wanted a lemon. However, as luck would have it, there was only one left in the shop. Oh, boo-hoo. Without discussion, they both agreed to take half. One woman took her half lemon home and squeezed it to make a drink. The juice barely covered the bottom of the glass. The other grated the rind to make an lemon-flavored cake. This must be a British one, huh? Although it wasn't as flavorsome, oh, I like that, flavorsome as she had hoped. And the juice flew all over the room. Think about it. Perceived incompatibility. Had they taken the time to talk and negotiate, they both would have had what they wanted, the juice or the rind of the whole lemon. Talking can often lead to solutions which benefit everyone. Okay, I like that. So anyway, silliness aside, the 4 C's of peacemaking. How can you, we can talk about conflict, but what about peace? Contact. If you don't know them, you'll never talk to them. We're going to talk about these separately, so I don't want to cooperation, communication, conciliation. When we say contact, though, and I think I talked about this when I talked about prejudice earlier, it's not just contact, it's equal status contact, okay? Because in fact, we had said, if you know the social relation, if the relative social standing of two groups, you'll know the prejudice or whatever. I don't even remember what it was. But contact on an equal basis. What we find, here is an image from post-apartheid South Africa. And what we find is this is a beach area, okay, a resort area. And we find that the different racial groups, I believe there was blacks, whites, and Indians, are represented by different colored dots. And I don't remember who is who. But take a look. Here's one racial group. Here's another racial group. Here's another racial group. Okay? Technically, their apartheid is gone. But they're not contacting each other. There is no way that they're going to have racial equality going on when they don't contact each other. Okay? Self-imposed segregation is what they've created. Thus, to reduce prejudice, interracial contact should be between people of equal status. Got it. Cooperation, I had already said it. When we talked about Sharif and the robber's cave, that's a superordinate goal. Here was, on the left side, how much they hated each other after competition. On the right side, how much they hated each other after they worked together, like for the boss or for the water problem or something, after a superordinate goal. Group identities lead to peace. That's why many schools require uniforms. They require student uniforms to create this image, this idea, this group, this in-group feeling of every member of the group. Okay? Or up there, I like that. That maybe you guys aren't familiar being from Texas, but up there on the left, that's what happens in a typical Wisconsin winter, okay? You get so much snow that you can't get your car out, but you need help from somebody else to push, all right? If you have to, you just can't solve the problem alone, and you find after a big snowstorm, people love each other. They have a common goal, a common problem, a larger goal that can only be solved if they work together, and you find a lot of camaraderie in those situations. Again, cooperation, the communication aspect. Cooperation is much more likely if the players can talk to each other. That's just a fact. I mean, it allows for trust. That was a major aspect of my dissertation, is that social cooperation can not occur. Communication is not the key factor to social cooperation. It is the trust that the communication creates. Okay? If they trust each other, then. Here's some words. You can read these words. I don't really want to. Okay? Bargaining, mediation, arbitration, blah, blah, blah. Boring. Okay. So we're done with conflict and peacemaking, which is the end of the material. Though this is the first chapter towards the fourth quiz, this is the end of the material on social relations, I believe it was. In our next material, what we're going to do is start talking about applications of social psychology. All right?